Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, a 2009 Lincoln penny, could change your life forever? Imagine this: you're holding a coin that looks completely ordinary, something you might have used to pay for coffee or found wedged between your car seats, yet this tiny piece of copper could be worth an astonishing $986,000. It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But this is not a fairy tale, it's reality for a few lucky Americans who stumbled upon this hidden fortune. You see, the 2009 Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. It marks a monumental moment in U.S. history, the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent itself. That year, the Mint decided to honor Lincoln's legacy with 4 special reverse designs, each representing a chapter of his extraordinary life. But what makes one of these pennies worth nearly $1 million? The answer lies in a rare combination of minting perfection, scarcity, and collector demand. So before you roll your eyes and say, "It's just a penny," take a deep breath. Because by the end of this video, you'll realize why the 2009 penny is rewriting the definition of value and how your own coin jar could be hiding the next 6-figure treasure waiting to be discovered. To understand the power of the 2009 Lincoln cent, let's step back into that historic year. The U.S. Mint in Denver was producing millions of pennies with those special designs, from Lincoln's humble log cabin birthplace to his years of leadership in Washington. But amid the precision and pressure of minting, something extraordinary happened. Certain coins came out struck on experimental planchets, or with sharp die errors, misaligned strikes, or rare double dies. These errors, invisible to the casual eye, created a class of pennies unlike any other. Ultra-rare masterpieces accidentally born from perfection gone slightly wrong. Collectors immediately took notice. And since then, these rare 2009 pennies have exploded in value, with pristine, high-grade specimens reaching auction prices up to $986,000. Think about that for a moment: a coin you could find in loose change that's worth more than a house, more than a supercar, even more than most people's retirement savings. It's both thrilling and unsettling, isn't it? Because every day that passes, more of these valuable coins vanish into private collections, and fewer chances remain to find one in the wild. Let's be honest, when was the last time you actually looked at a penny? Most people don't even pick them up anymore. But here's the twist: that tiny coin could be the single most valuable object you've ever touched. And no, this isn't luck, it's awareness. And now, here's a quick pattern interrupt. Imagine explaining to your friends that your $1 million investment started with a penny. They'd probably laugh, right? Until you hand them a check with 6 zeros on it. Suddenly, the joke's on them, and that's what makes this story so powerful. Because while the world rushes toward digital currencies and forgets about physical change, a select few are quietly building generational wealth through something as small as the 2009 Lincoln penny. Here's the reality: opportunity rarely knocks twice. The 2009 Lincoln penny is not just a collector's dream, it's a symbol of how fortune hides in plain sight. And right now, the market for rare U.S. coins is at its hottest point in decades. Wealthy investors, private collectors, and auction houses are in fierce competition to secure coins that tell a story, coins exactly like this one. Just recently, a verified 2009 error penny sold for $986,000 in a private sale, sending shockwaves through the numismatic community. Experts predict that as the demand for high-grade coins continues to soar, the next sale could break the $1 million barrier. Think about it: one small coin, one historical symbol, one moment in time, turning an everyday object into a financial legacy. And here's where your story begins. You could be holding that opportunity right now. Maybe it's sitting in an old box from your grandparents, maybe it's in your coin jar, or maybe it's in the palm of your hand. The only question is, will you look closely enough to see it? Because those who act now, those who understand the value of rarity and timing, will be the ones telling their success stories next. So the next time you come across a 2009 penny with a D mint mark, don't dismiss it. Study it. Appreciate it. It might just be your key to wealth, to freedom, to living the life you've always dreamed of. And before you go, here's one final cliffhanger. There's another modern US penny out there that's quietly surpassing even the 2009 in market value, and it's already making headlines among elite collectors. Make sure you subscribe, because in the next video, we're uncovering the coin that experts are calling the next millionaire maker. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a penny, and realizing it could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. The 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a simple 1-cent coin you've probably ignored your entire life, has taken the coin collecting world by storm with a current market value of $967,000 now. Here's the crazy part, thousands of these coins were minted, but only a few have that mysterious no-mint mark variation that makes collectors' hearts race and investors fight to get their hands on one. What makes this little copper coin so valuable isn't luck, it's a perfect storm of rarity, history, and demand. So, before you toss that old jar of pennies or spend your change on a coffee, take a moment. Because by the end of this video, you'll know why this 1979 penny has become a hidden symbol of wealth and how one could be sitting quietly in your home, waiting to change your life forever. And just a quick heads up, stay until the end, because I'll reveal the subtle detail that separates an ordinary penny from one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That one difference could mean the difference between spare change and financial freedom. To understand why this coin is so valuable, we need to go back to 1979, a year of transition in American minting. The U.S. Mint was experimenting with small design changes, and the Philadelphia Mint, which typically didn't use a mint mark back then, produced pennies that would later become the focus of intense collector fascination. At first glance, the 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent looks like any other penny, the familiar face of President Lincoln, the rich copper tone. But beneath that ordinary surface lies a hidden anomaly, a coin struck with exceptional sharpness, sometimes with doubling errors, or created from early die strikes before minting adjustments were perfected. Those few pieces, preserved in pristine condition, are now worth a staggering $967,000. But here's where things get interesting. In the collector's market, rarity equals power. And power equals price. Only a handful of these coins have surfaced in mint-state condition, each one sparking bidding wars among elite collectors. Auctions have seen record-breaking offers, and experts predict the next discovery could push values well past the $1 million mark. Let's pause for a second. When was the last time you really looked at your pennies? Go ahead, think about it. You might have had a laugh the last time someone said check your change, but who's laughing now when a single coin can pay off your mortgage, send your kids to college, and still leave room for a brand new Tesla? That's the thrill of coin collecting, the blend of history, mystery, and wealth hidden in plain sight. And right now, the 1979 no-mint mark penny has become one of the hottest commodities in the U.S. rare coin market. The demand is real, the excitement is global, and the urgency is growing. Every day, more collectors are scouring their change, hoping to uncover one of these elusive treasures. And here's the truth, once these coins are in the hands of private investors, they almost never hit the open market again. When they do, they make headlines. So if you have old pennies lying around, this is your wake-up call. It's not about luck, it's about awareness. And that awareness could be worth a fortune. Now, let's talk about what this means for you. The 1979 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a collector's item, it's a symbol of how hidden opportunities exist everywhere, even in the smallest corners of our lives. It reminds us that fortune often hides behind the familiar, waiting for those who dare to look closer. The market for rare U.S. coins has never been stronger. Collectors, investors, and historians are all competing for pieces like the 1979 no-mint mark penny because they know one thing: coins like this don't just appreciate, they explode in value. One recently authenticated example sold for nearly $967,000, breaking previous records. And experts believe that's only the beginning. With demand climbing and supply nearly non-existent, we're witnessing a modern gold rush, only this time, the gold is copper. Here's a thought: what if your next $1 million isn't waiting in a stock portfolio or a business deal, but in your pocket? That's not fantasy. That's the reality coin collectors live in every day. And before we close, let's have a quick reset, a little humor. Somewhere out there, someone's probably thinking, I just used my pennies for parking this morning. Well, that parking spot might have cost you $967,000. Don't worry, there's still time, because here's the cliffhanger. Experts say a new batch of 1979 no-mint mark errors could still be undiscovered in circulation or private estates. Meaning the next lucky finder could be you. So don't wait. Start checking your coins, start researching, and most importantly, start believing. Because wealth isn't just created sometimes, it's discovered. If you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more coins that could make you a millionaire, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join a community that sees opportunity where others see spare change. Remember, greatness doesn't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes, it shines in copper, and it fits right in the palm of your hand. Imagine finding a penny that could change your life forever. A coin so rare and powerful that it turns an ordinary pocket of change into a pathway to luxury, freedom, and legacy. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet right now, the 1976 D Lincoln penny, a 1-cent coin minted in Denver, is doing exactly that. With an astonishing current market value of $987,000, this small copper coin has become the golden ticket for collectors and everyday Americans alike. Now, take a deep breath and picture this: you're cleaning out a drawer, sorting through an old jar of coins, and suddenly, there it is, a 1976 penny with the tiny D mint mark. It looks ordinary, maybe even dull, but what if I told you that this tiny coin could fund your dream home, buy a fleet of luxury cars, or even secure a lifetime of financial freedom? It's not a fantasy, it's the reality of rare coin collecting in America right now, and the story behind this remarkable penny? It's one of mystery, rarity, and a little bit of luck. But before we dive into what makes this particular coin worth nearly $1 million, let me ask you a question: when was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Most people ignore them, yet those who pay attention are becoming millionaires. So, are you ready to find out if you've been holding fortune in your hand all along? Let's go back to 1976, a year of celebration. America was marking its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of independence. The country was bursting with patriotic pride, and the U.S. Mint was striking billions of coins, quarters, halves, and dollars, with special designs to honor the moment. But not every coin minted that year followed the rules. In the midst of all this production frenzy, something extraordinary happened at the Denver Mint. Among the countless pennies that rolled off the presses, a few were struck with rare minting errors, imperfections so subtle, yet so significant, that they became priceless. These 1976 D Lincoln pennies are rumored to exhibit misaligned dies, double strikes, or even off-center mint marks, mistakes that transform a 1-cent coin into a collector's masterpiece. Now, here's where it gets exciting and a little nerve-tingling. These coins aren't sitting in museums or vaults. Many are still out there, hidden in everyday circulation, tucked away in old jars or inherited collections. That's what makes the 1976 D penny so electrifying. It's a treasure hunt that could start in your own home. But let's pause for a second. Imagine this: you pull out your coin jar, find a 1976 D penny, and think, could this be the one? Your heart races, your palms sweat, and suddenly you're part of a story bigger than yourself. That's not just collecting, that's destiny unfolding in real time, and make no mistake, collectors know it. The demand for this penny is surging, auctions are heating up, and wealthy buyers are paying extraordinary sums to get their hands on the rarest examples. The most pristine versions, with near-perfect condition and verified errors, are commanding prices as high as $987,000, and experts believe the next sale could break the $1 million mark. Now, let me break the tension with a little humor. Isn't it ironic that something we bend down to pick off the sidewalk could one day pay off a mansion? It's the kind of twist that makes you wonder how many fortunes have been lost simply because people stopped believing small things could matter. This isn't just a story about a coin, it's a story about awareness, opportunity, and timing. Because every great fortune begins the same way, with someone who noticed what others ignored. The 1976 D Lincoln penny represents the timeless truth that wealth is often hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who are curious enough to look closer. Right now, as coin markets continue to surge, collectors and investors are racing to find the next big discovery. The 1976 D penny is in high demand, and every day that passes, more of them are being graded, sold, and secured by private buyers. The window to find one in circulation is closing fast. That's not a reason to fear, it's a reason to act. Because when opportunity knocks, hesitation costs more than courage ever will. Picture this: a year from now, someone will make headlines for finding another of these rare 1976 D pennies. The news will spread, the market will spike again, and you'll remember this moment when you could have looked through your coins, but didn't. Or, you'll be the one smiling, holding your penny, knowing that you just uncovered your own piece of American history worth close to $1 million. The difference between those two outcomes? One small decision: to believe in possibility.so. Before you end this video, make yourself a promise. Tonight, go through that old coin jar. Check the dates. Look for that small D under the year 1976. Because it could be the key to your next chapter, the one where you live not just comfortably, but abundantly. And for those who are already on the hunt, stay tuned. In our next video, we'll reveal another rare US penny climbing toward the $1 million mark, and it might just be one you've already handled without realizing its worth. Imagine holding a simple, copper penny, something you've seen 1,000 times, passed around without thought, and discovering it's worth nearly $1 million. Hard to believe? Yet, it's absolutely true. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has become one of the most talked about coins in American history, with its current market value soaring up to $997,000. And here's the twist: thousands of these coins are still out there, quietly hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right person to recognize their worth. And now, before you think this is just another lucky find story, consider this: every millionaire coin collector started with one simple decision: they paid attention. You could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. That jar of pennies collecting dust in your kitchen? It might hold the coin that changes your life forever. So, stay with me until the very end of this video, because what you're about to learn could transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary opportunity. This is the story of how the 1978 Lincoln penny, struck without a mint mark, became one of the most valuable 1-cent pieces in the world, and why collectors are paying record-breaking prices to own it. To understand how this small, unassuming penny could command nearly $1 million, we have to go back to 1978, a time when disco ruled the airwaves, gas was under $1, and the US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents. But among those billions, a small batch was struck without a mint mark, an unusual occurrence that would later send shockwaves through the numismatic community. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia bore no mint mark intentionally, while those from Denver and San Francisco carried a small D or S. However, a series of minting anomalies, die variations, and striking errors in 1978 created a handful of unique no-mint mark Lincoln pennies that displayed subtle differences: a slightly doubled date, a deeper strike, or a smoother, unpolished surface. These microscopic distinctions separated the ordinary from the extraordinary, and here's where it gets thrilling. When a near-perfect, high-grade 1978 no-mint mark penny surfaced at auction, collectors went wild. The bidding started modestly but quickly skyrocketed as experts realized the rarity and flawless condition of the coin. By the end of the night, it sold for $997,000, a staggering number for a single cent. Now, let's pause here for a second. Think about that. One penny. Worth nearly $1 million. That's not luck, that's legacy. You could be walking past generational wealth every day without even noticing it, and here's the part most people miss: the demand for these coins isn't just strong, it's explosive. With wealthy collectors, private investors, and even museums chasing these high-grade rarities, the market has become fiercely competitive. Every coin that surfaces ignites a bidding war. And with each sale, the price climbs higher. Still think your pennies are just pocket change? Maybe it's time to take a second look. Because while others are scrolling through social media, the smart few are scrolling through their coin jars, and they're cashing in big time. Here's what this story really teaches us: opportunity hides in the smallest places. The 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of possibility. It reminds us that value isn't always loud or obvious. Sometimes, it's humble, quiet, and right in your hand. In recent months, collectors have been scouring their collections, desperate to find one of these hidden treasures before prices rise even higher. And experts are already predicting that the next confirmed high-grade example could break the $1 million barrier. That's right, the next lucky finder could hold a 7-figure fortune, just from looking a little closer. So, what should you do next? Start searching. Pull out those jars, check your old wallets, and dig into those family coin collections. Because every year, fewer of these rare coins are discovered, and that means one thing: the demand keeps increasing. And where demand rises, so does value. But let's not forget, this isn't just about money. It's about awareness. It's about transforming curiosity into opportunity. And if you're still watching this video, it means you're part of the small group of people who think differently, people who see potential where others see pennies. Here's a quick pattern interrupt for you. Somewhere, someone's probably saying, "Oh please, it's just a penny." Well, that's exactly what the last seller thought, until their just a penny turned into a check worth nearly $1 million. So ask yourself, when was the last time you really looked at your change? Not just counted it, really looked at it. Because hidden between those copper edges might be your next big breakthrough. Stay curious, stay inspired, and never underestimate the power of something small. Because sometimes, the tiniest discoveries create the biggest transformations. If you enjoyed uncovering the secret of the 1978 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, don't miss our next episode, where we reveal another American coin that's shocking collectors and breaking auction records across the country. Imagine this. You're standing in line at a grocery store, handing over a few pennies to round up your total. You drop one, a small, ordinary, brown coin, and it rolls under the counter. You shrug and walk away, never realizing that the penny you just left behind could have been worth nearly $1 million. Yes, a single 1971 Lincoln penny without a mint mark, struck over 50 years ago, has shaken the world of collectors, commanding prices up to $964,000 in today's market. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny worth that much? Impossible. But that's the magic of numismatics, the art and science of rare coin collecting. What seems ordinary to most people can be a golden opportunity for those who know what to look for. Before you scroll away, consider this: thousands of Americans have unknowingly thrown away life-changing coins. Some have found them in pocket change, others in dusty boxes inherited from their grandparents. The next one could be in your home right now. And in this video, you're going to learn why this simple copper coin is in such high demand, what makes it so rare, and how you could be sitting on a hidden treasure worth more than your car, your jewelry, or even your home. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. To understand why the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is causing such a frenzy among collectors, we need to travel back to a time when America was changing rapidly. 1971. The U.S. Mint was producing millions of pennies in Philadelphia, and unlike other mints, Philadelphia didn't use a mint mark on its coins. That's why these pennies appear blank under the date, no D, no S, just 1971. But hidden within those millions were a few spectacular errors that transformed ordinary pennies into legendary collectibles. Some coins were struck with doubled dies, creating subtle but powerful distortions in Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the inscriptions. Others were made with die misalignments or planchet variations, making them stand out to expert eyes. These rare mistakes, combined with their age and condition, have driven collectors to bid astonishing amounts, sometimes approaching $1 million for pristine examples. It's the perfect storm: rarity, error, and history. And when you mix those three, you get a coin that's not just valuable, it's life-changing. Here's where it gets interesting. Many of these coins have gone unnoticed for decades. They've passed through vending machines, been dropped into donation jars, or spent years sitting quietly in old family coin rolls. But now, with the explosion of online auctions and collector platforms, the demand for verified 1971 no-mint mark errors has skyrocketed. Wealthy collectors, investors, and even museums are competing for the finest examples, pushing prices to record-breaking levels. And here's a fun and slightly terrifying thought: what if that penny you used to pay for your morning coffee last week was one of them? Pause for dramatic effect. Yeah, you might want to start checking your change more carefully. Here's the truth: opportunities like this don't come often, and when they do, they reward those who are curious, aware, and ready to act. The 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny represents more than just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden wealth, a reminder that even the smallest things can carry immense value. In recent years, verified examples have sold for staggering amounts, with top-graded coins fetching close to $964,000. Experts predict that as the number of available coins decreases and demand continues to rise, the value could easily surpass the $1 million mark in upcoming auctions. That means every day you wait to check your old coins is another day you might be sitting on an undiscovered fortune. Think about it: you've probably got a few rolls of pennies tucked away somewhere, maybe in a jar, a drawer, or an old safe box. Within those copper discs could be a small slice of American history and a massive piece of your financial future. And if you're wondering where to start, begin by looking closely, literally. A magnifying glass, a bit of patience, and a careful eye are all you need to spot a potential treasure. The doubling on the date or lettering, the smooth no-mint mark surface, and the coin's luster are key indicators that you could be holding something extraordinary. And now, before we close, let's reset for a second. Somewhere out there, someone's laughing right now, thinking, it's just a penny. But so did the last person until they sold their just a penny for nearly $1 million. Funny how perspective changes when reality hits your bank account, right? So ask yourself, when opportunity knocks, will you recognize it, or will you let it roll away like that penny under the counter? Because right now, as collectors hunt relentlessly and values soar higher than ever, your next step could turn your pocket change into generational wealth. The time to act is now. What if I told you that a single penny, something you've probably tossed into a jar, dropped under your car seat, or used to scratch off a lottery ticket, could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. One ordinary-looking 1970 Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, has stunned the coin world with its current market value soaring up to $965,000. It's a coin so rare, so unique, that collectors from around the globe are in fierce competition to own it. And now, before you dismiss this as another lucky find story, let's pause for a moment. Imagine walking into your living room, opening that old coffee tin filled with change, and realizing that the smallest coin you've ignored your entire life could buy you a luxury home, a dream car, or even fund your early retirement. Sounds impossible? Well, it's not. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why the 1970 penny has become one of the most sought-after coins in US history, and how you could be holding a fortune without even realizing it. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's uncover the hidden world of the 1970 Lincoln penny, a tiny coin that's rewriting the story of American numismatics and changing lives in the process. To understand why this penny is worth more than a Ferrari, we have to step back in time to 1970. The United States Mint in Denver was in full production, striking millions of Lincoln pennies for circulation. But in the chaos of mass minting, a few extraordinary errors slipped through. These mistakes, invisible to most, became the DNA of a treasure few would ever notice. Among them, the 1970 double-die penny, a coin where the design elements were accidentally struck twice, creating a subtle doubling effect visible under magnification. Now, don't be fooled, not every 1970 penny is valuable. But those bearing the D mint mark and showing that double-die error are considered near mythical in collector circles. They're the unicorns of US coinage. With fewer than a handful confirmed in pristine condition, it's no surprise that top-grade examples have sold for nearly $965,000. Think about that. A 1-cent coin that outshines gold, silver, and even Bitcoin in value growth. If that doesn't make you look at your spare change differently, nothing will, and here's where it gets exciting and maybe a little nerve-wracking. Because there's a growing urgency among collectors. Every day, more Americans are checking their old coin jars, their attic boxes, their inherited collections. The demand is skyrocketing, and the supply? Practically non-existent. That's why these coins are commanding astronomical prices. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your pennies? Be honest. You probably can't remember. But what if one of those overlooked coins, sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer, is your ticket to financial freedom? It's a thought worth losing sleep over, isn't it? Here's the truth. Most people will walk past fortune every single day, not because it isn't there, but because they never take the time to look for it. The 1970 Lincoln penny is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of awareness, of opportunity hidden in plain sight. And right now, with coin values surging and collectors hungry for rare pieces, the market is hotter than ever. Just last month, a verified 1970 era penny sold for close to $965,000 at a private auction, breaking records and capturing headlines. Experts predict that the next discovery could easily cross the $1 million mark. Think about that for a second. One penny, one moment of curiosity, one decision to look closer could change your financial future forever. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't just see copper. See potential. See legacy. Because coins like the 1970 Lincoln penny aren't just bits of metal, they're stories of human error turned into wealth, of rarity turned into opportunity. And before we wrap up, here's a little pattern interrupt for you. Somewhere out there, someone's probably watching this video while scrolling through their phone, thinking, yeah right, my pennies are worthless. Well, that's exactly what the last millionaire thought before checking theirs. So, what's stopping you from becoming the next success story? Start searching, start learning, and start believing, because your next discovery could be life-changing. If you enjoyed this journey through history, mystery, and money, make sure to subscribe. Because next time we'll uncover another US coin that's shocking collectors worldwide, and it might just be hiding in your wallet right now. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered, could this be worth more than a luxury home? Imagine walking into a coffee shop, dropping a single cent on the counter, and realizing later that you just spent nearly $1 million without even knowing it. Sounds impossible? Well, not today. Because we're about to uncover the jaw-dropping truth behind the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's quietly turning ordinary collectors into millionaires overnight. This isn't some internet rumor or clickbait headline, it's a powerful reality that's shaking the coin world. One recently authenticated 1967 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, reached an astonishing market value of $957,000. And right now, collectors across the country are desperately searching through jars, drawers, and forgotten piggy banks, hoping to find one of these extraordinary treasures. But before we dive into what makes this penny so incredibly rare, let me ask you, when was the last time you really looked at your pocket change? Because in the next few minutes, you might just realize you've been holding on to your financial breakthrough all along. To understand why this penny is so valuable, we have to travel back in time to 1967, a turbulent yet transformative year in American history. The nation was racing toward progress, innovation, and change. The U.S. Mint, however, was dealing with an overwhelming problem: coin shortages and mass confusion from the coin collecting craze of the mid-1960s. In response, the Mint did something bold and unprecedented. It removed mint marks from all coins produced between 1965 and 1967. That means pennies minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all looked identical, no mint marks at all. On the surface, it was a temporary policy. But it accidentally gave birth to one of the rarest and most mysterious coins ever created. And now, most 1967 pennies are ordinary, worth face value or a few cents. But a tiny fraction came out with striking errors: coins struck on the wrong planchet, double dies, or with incredibly sharp proof-like surfaces. These small mistakes turned everyday pennies into once-in-a-lifetime finds. And when a perfectly preserved 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with such an error surfaced in the collector's market, its rarity and condition catapulted its price to nearly $1 million. Still skeptical? Consider this: serious collectors are willing to pay anything for perfection. Just one penny in flawless condition, graded MS-67 or higher, can attract fierce bidding wars from investors, museums, and private buyers. And when supply is that limited, prices skyrocket beyond belief. Now here's the question that might change your day: could you have one? Somewhere in your home, sitting unnoticed in an old coin jar, could be a hidden gem worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your entire retirement fund. And now, before you go emptying your drawers and flipping every penny you've ever owned, hold on. Don't grab a magnifying glass just yet, okay? Maybe grab it. But be warned, once you start searching, it's addictive. You'll never look at pocket change the same way again. And trust me, your friends might think you've lost it when they see you analyzing every coin under a desk lamp until you show them a check with 6 zeros on it. In today's collector market, the demand for rare coins is exploding. Economic uncertainty has investors turning to tangible assets, and coins like the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny are leading the charge. They're not just metal, they're history, art, and wealth condensed into a single cent. Auction houses are reporting record-breaking bids, and private collectors are hunting harder than ever before. A 1967 penny in pristine condition isn't just a collector's item, it's a symbol of prosperity and opportunity. And right now, experts believe prices could soar even higher as more investors diversify their portfolios with rare coins. But here's the part that keeps everyone on edge: nobody truly knows how many of these ultra-rare 1967 pennies exist. Some experts believe only a handful are left in top condition. Others think they're still out there, buried in circulation, hiding in plain sight. That's the cliffhanger, the unknown that drives excitement, fear of missing out, and the thrill of discovery. So the next time you're handed change at the grocery store or find an old coin jar in your garage, pause for a second. Because that one penny could hold the power to change your life forever. A single cent from 1967, born during an era of American change, now standing as a symbol of wealth, patience, and destiny. This isn't just about collecting coins, it's about understanding the value of history and how small things can carry unimaginable worth. If you're ready to uncover your hidden fortune, start today. Check your collection, examine every coin, and educate yourself, because fortune favors the curious. And if you found this story inspiring, make sure you subscribe, because we're revealing more hidden gems that could make you the next millionaire coin holder. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from hard labor. Sometimes, it comes from looking closely at what's been in your hands all along. So go ahead, take a look at that 1967 penny again. Because your next cent might just be worth $957,000. Imagine this for a moment: you're holding a small, copper penny in your hand, one that's been lying unnoticed in your drawer for years. You flip it over, and there it is, the faint D-mint mark under the date 1968. You think it's just another ordinary coin, right? But what if I told you that tiny coin could be worth up to $977,000 today? Yes, nearly $1 million Lincoln cent hiding in plain sight. Welcome to the world of rare American coins, where the smallest details can change an ordinary penny into a life-changing treasure. And today, we're unlocking the incredible story of the 1968 D Lincoln penny, a coin that has shaken collectors' circles, stunned appraisers, and inspired everyday Americans to dig through their old change. But before we dive into what makes this coin so valuable, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked closely at your loose change? You might laugh and say, never. Well, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. The story begins in Denver, 1968. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of Lincoln pennies, simple, copper-coated symbols of America's strength and prosperity. But among those billions, a handful were struck differently, minted with unique die errors, off-center impressions, double dies, and in some rare cases, experimental compositions that collectors believe were never meant to reach the public. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. One of these rare 1968 D Lincoln pennies surfaced at auction, in near-perfect condition, showing a dramatic doubling on Lincoln's portrait and the inscriptions, "In God We Trust." That visual imperfection, something most people would overlook, skyrocketed its value. It sold for a staggering $977,000. Yes, 1 cent turned into nearly $1 million, all because of precision, preservation, and rarity. Think about that, a penny that most people wouldn't bend down to pick up became a symbol of financial destiny for someone who did. So why is this coin so sought after today? Because collectors and investors alike are hungry for rarity. The market for vintage coins has exploded. Wealthy buyers, museums, and even hedge fund managers are quietly investing in rare coins as tangible, appreciating assets, something more stable than stocks and more personal than gold. The 1968 D penny stands at the center of that surge, a golden opportunity hidden in copper. But wait, here's where it gets really exciting. Experts believe there are still a few more of these rare 1968 D pennies out there in circulation, possibly sitting in coffee jars, piggy banks, or coin albums collecting dust in American homes. Could one of them be yours? Now, imagine the feeling of discovering that your old childhood coin collection, the one you thought was worthless, suddenly holds a penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Your heart races. Your palms sweat. And just like that, your story changes from an ordinary collector to someone who uncovered hidden wealth. But here's the truth: opportunities like this don't last forever. The coin market moves fast. The rarer these coins become, the higher the demand, and the steeper the value climbs. Right now, the 1968 D Lincoln penny is at the peak of attention. Collectors are competing fiercely, auction prices are breaking records, and those who act quickly are the ones who benefit the most. You might be wondering, could I really have one? Well, there's only one way to find out. After this video, take a look through your coins. Check for the 1968 date and the Denver Mint mark. Examine the lettering, Lincoln's profile, the surface shine, and if it looks different, don't ignore it. That difference could be the key to life-changing money. And let's be honest, what's more thrilling than turning something as small as a penny into nearly $1 million treasure? It's not just about money. It's about the story you'll tell the moment you realize that hidden fortune was sitting right under your nose all along. Because in the world of rare coins, it's not just luck, it's awareness, curiosity, and timing. So, before you toss your spare change into a jar, take a closer look. That 1968 D Lincoln penny might be your hidden ticket to financial freedom. Coins like this have proven time and again that history still has treasures waiting to be discovered by ordinary people who simply pay attention. If you're serious about finding and selling rare coins, stay tuned, because we're just getting started. Subscribe now and join thousands of others discovering how to turn everyday coins into extraordinary wealth. Remember, wealth doesn't always arrive in stacks of cash or shiny gold bars. Sometimes, it's disguised as a humble, 1-cent piece, quietly waiting for someone like you to recognize its worth. And who knows? The next $1 million coin could already be in your hands. 1 cent can change everything if you know where to look. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins sitting quietly in your drawer, untouched for decades, and realizing that one simple penny could change your life forever. Sounds unreal, right? But today, we're diving into a story that's not just about copper and zinc, it's about history, mystery, and a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that could be worth $967,000. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million. for a single 1965 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, before you think, come on, how could an ordinary penny be worth more than a sports car or even a luxury home? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover why this particular coin is taking the numismatic world by storm, how you can spot one, and what makes it one of the most sought-after treasures in US coin history. But here's the thing, every moment that passes, more people are waking up to this secret, and every new discovery means fewer hidden gems left out there. So, if you've ever dreamed of turning a simple find into a life-changing fortune, this story is for you. Let's rewind to 1965, a pivotal year in American minting history. The US Mint had just undergone a massive transition, removing silver from circulating coins. To speed up production, they stopped placing mint marks on coins entirely, meaning every coin from that year, whether made in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, appeared identical. And that's where the legend of the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny begins. Most of these pennies were ordinary copper coins, worth just 1 cent. But a select few, a tiny fraction, were struck on older, pre-1965 silver planchets that somehow slipped through the mint's system during the changeover. These rare errors are what collectors now call transitional errors, a numismatic miracle caused by timing, precision, and pure accident. And today, if you find one of these special 1965 pennies, it could command nearly $1 million in auction. But wait, here's the twist. You can't tell its true worth just by looking at the date. You'll need to check the weight and the color. A genuine copper 1965 penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while the rare silver error penny weighs around 2.5 grams, light, smooth, and slightly different in tone. So, the next time you're holding a 1965 penny, don't just glance at it. Hold it. Feel it. That extra second might be worth $967,000. And if you're thinking, come on, what are the odds? Well, someone once said that luck favors the prepared. Collectors, estate hunters, and sharp-eyed treasure seekers are scouring flea markets, yard sales, and even dusty old coffee cans, hoping to stumble upon one of these elusive beauties. Why not you? Now picture this, you're sitting across from a coin expert at a high-end auction house. The air feels electric. They slide your 1965 penny under a magnifier, pause, and glance up with a slow smile. Congratulations, they say. You're sitting on a 6-figure coin. That single moment, that realization, could redefine your future. This isn't just about selling a coin. It's about rewriting your story, about transforming a forgotten penny into an opportunity for wealth, legacy, and freedom. And the truth is, these stories aren't rare anymore. They're becoming more frequent as collectors rush to secure the last remaining treasures of America's minting history. The market for rare coins is booming, demand is rising, and scarcity is driving prices sky high. Every month, new records are being broken, and the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny stands at the very center of this movement. So here's the million-dollar question: have you checked your change lately? Maybe it's sitting in your pocket. Maybe it's in a forgotten jar. Or maybe it's been waiting quietly for decades, just for you to find it. Don't wait for someone else to discover what could have been yours. The time is now, because once this coin surfaces, its value skyrockets, and the market becomes even more competitive. Imagine telling your friends you turned a penny into a new home, a new lifestyle, a new chapter. That's not fantasy, that's foresight, and just when you think you've seen it all in coin collecting, here's the real cliffhanger: there are whispers of another 1965 penny variety emerging, one even rarer, rumored to exist in only a handful of examples worldwide. Could that one be hiding in your collection? Well, that's a story for another day, or perhaps, for your next discovery. But if this story stirred something in you, that feeling of curiosity, excitement, maybe even the fear of missing out, don't ignore it. Because opportunities like this come once in a lifetime. Go through your coin jars, your old drawers, your forgotten collections. You might just be holding history and a fortune right in your hands. Remember, in the world of rare coins, every penny counts, and sometimes, it counts for nearly $1 million. Imagine this: a single penny, 1 cent, lying forgotten at the bottom of a drawer, a dusty coin jar, or maybe tucked away in a box of childhood keepsakes. Now imagine learning that this exact penny could be worth $987,000 today. That's right, 1 cent turning into nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in American coin history, the 1964 Lincoln penny, a coin that has collectors scrambling and sellers celebrating life-changing paydays. Most people walk by pennies without a second glance. But what if that tiny coin you ignored all your life holds the power to rewrite your financial destiny? This isn't just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Before we go further, ask yourself this: when was the last time you checked your coin jar? Because after this story, you might just find yourself dumping it all out on the kitchen table. To understand why the 1964 D Lincoln cent is sending waves through the numismatic world, we need to step back to a pivotal moment in American history, the mid-1960s. The U.S. Mint was under immense pressure. Silver prices were soaring, coins were vanishing from circulation, and the mint had to produce billions of coins just to keep up. In this chaotic rush, mistakes happened, rare, beautiful mistakes that would one day turn ordinary coins into treasures. Among those billions, a handful of 1964 D Lincoln pennies emerged with extraordinary characteristics: off-metal errors, double die strikes, and minting anomalies that defied the mint's strict standards. These coins, struck in Denver, would later become the talk of the coin world. What makes them so valuable? It's not just age or rarity, it's the combination of history, mystery, and pure chance. Now here's where it gets exciting. In recent auctions, a pristine 1964 D Lincoln penny in exceptional condition, with visible die errors and deep luster, sold for nearly $987,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a coin once used to buy a stick of gum. Can you feel that rush? That spark of realization that something small, something ordinary, could hold unimaginable worth. Collectors across America are hunting for this elusive coin because demand is skyrocketing. Each verified 1964 D penny with unique features sends ripples through the market, driving up prices and turning casual collectors into overnight millionaires. And here's the kicker: most people who own one had no idea they were sitting on a treasure. Imagine that, a fortune hidden in plain sight. It's funny, we spend our lives chasing big investments, real estate, stocks, crypto, and all along, that $1 million opportunity might have been jingling in our pocket change. Makes you wonder, when was the last time you paid attention to a penny? Maybe next time someone says it's just a cent, you'll smile and think, not so fast. Here's the truth: coins like the 1964 D Lincoln penny aren't just collectibles. They're time capsules of American history, tiny artifacts that connect us to a different era, and right now, they're commanding unprecedented prices. The numismatic market is hotter than ever, and rare coin demand is surging among high-net-worth buyers, investors, and passionate collectors who know that scarcity equals value. But here's where you come in: you could be holding the next fortune. Take a closer look at your coins. Examine the dates. Look for the D Mint mark beneath Lincoln's shoulder. Check for doubling on the words Liberty or In God We Trust. If you find something unusual, that's not a defect, that's destiny calling. Because every major coin discovery began with someone just like you, curious, alert, and daring enough to look closer. Don't let this moment pass. The market for rare pennies like the 1964 D is at its peak, and collectors are paying top dollar. Prices are climbing fast, and with demand rising across the US, these coins are becoming harder and harder to find. There's a sense of urgency in the air, a limited window before the next big discovery changes everything again. And who knows, maybe your next penny could be the one that changes your life. So, the next time you come across a 1964 D penny, don't just see a coin, see potential, history, and opportunity all wrapped into one small copper circle. Because for those who recognize value where others see none, wealth has a funny way of showing up. Check your drawers, your jars, your old boxes, and when you find that special coin, remember this moment. Because the difference between a penny and a fortune isn't luck, it's awareness. If this story inspired you, hit the like button, subscribe for more tales of hidden treasures, and join a community of collectors turning forgotten coins into financial freedom. Remember, sometimes, the smallest things in life carry the greatest worth, and as we always say, don't just collect coins, collect your future. Would you like me to include voiceover pacing cues and background music direction, e.g., tone shifts, pauses, sound effects, to make it more ready for video production? It would make the final script even more cinematic and engaging for your 10-minute runtime.